Hello and welcome to SBM Gunas. My name is Yogesh Bhandari and I am a chartered accountant. In this presentation, we are going to understand the announcements made by Finance Minister for businesses and MSMEs under Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyaan. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi announced a special economic and comprehensive package of Rs 20 lakh crores, which is equivalent to 10% of India's GDP. He also outlined 5 pillars of Aatma Nirbhar Bharat, which are economy, infrastructure, system, vibrant demography and demand. Essentially, the goal is to build a self-reliant India. That is why the economic package is called as Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyaan. Citing these pillars, they seek to focus on land, labor, liquidity and law. Measures were focused on getting back to the work, that is, enabling employees and employers, businesses, especially micro, small and medium enterprises, to get back to production and employment. Over the last 5 years, the government has actively taken various measures for MSMEs. To help MSMEs with the issue of delayed payment by any government or PSUs, Samadhan portal was launched in 2017. For the real estate sector, RERA was enacted in 2016 to bring in more transparency into the industry. A special fund for affordable and middle income housing was set up last year to help with the stress in this segment. A fund of funds for startup was set up under SIDBI to boost entrepreneurship in the country and various other credit guarantee schemes to help flow of credit to the MSMEs. Let us discuss about the announcement. In the announcement of Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyaan, following measures were announced for MSME and business. Number 1. Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme for businesses including MSMEs. To provide relief to the business, additional working capital finance of 20% of outstanding credit as on 29th February 2020 in the form of term loan at a concessional rate of interest will be provided. This will be available to units with loan outstanding up to Rs 25 crores and turnover of up to Rs 100 crores. Loans to have a 4-year tenure with a moratorium of 12 months on principal repayment. The units will not have to provide any guarantee or collateral of their own. The entire funding provided under the scheme shall be provided with a 100% credit guarantee by National Credit Guarantee Trust Company Limited to member lending institutions, that is bank, financial institutions and NBFCs. This scheme can be availed till 31st October 2020. The second measure announced under the Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyaan is subordinate debt for stressed or non-performing asset MSMEs. Before moving forward, let us understand what is subordinate debt. Subordinate debt is an unsecured loan or bond that ranks below other senior loans or securities with respect to claims on assets or earnings. Subordinate debt are thus also known as junior securities. In the case of borrower default, creditor who owns subordinate debt will not be paid out until senior bondholders or debts are paid in full. These loans usually have higher interest rates and lower credit rating. So under this moment, a provision has been made for 20,000 crore subordinate loan for 2 lakh MSMEs. MSMEs which are stressed or are NPAs will be eligible for this scheme. Banks are expected to provide the subordinate debt to promoters of such MSMEs equal to 15% of his existing stake in the unit, subject to a maximum of 75 lakhs. Promoters of the MSME will be given debt by bank maximum up to 75 lakhs, which will then be infused by the promoter as equity in the unit. The third measure announced under the Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyaan is equity infusion through MSME fund of funds. Government will set up a fund of funds with a corpus of 10,000 crore that will provide equity funding support for MSMEs. The fund of funds shall be operated from a mother and a few daughter funds. The fund of fund will be able to mobilize equity of about 50,000 crores. The fourth measure announced under the Aatma Nirbhar Bharat Abhiyaan is new definition of MSME. The definition of MSME will be revised by raising the investment limit. An additional criteria of turnover has also been introduced. The distinction between manufacturing and service sector will also be eliminated. As per the existing MSME classification, only criteria of investment in plant and machinery or equipment is considered. As you can see in the table, for manufacturing entities, limit of investments are less than 25 lakhs, less than 5 crores and less than 10 crores for micro, small and medium enterprises respectively. Similarly, the limit of investment in service enterprises are less than 10 lakhs, less than 2 crores and less than 5 crores for micro, small and medium enterprises respectively. As per the revised MSME classification, composite criteria of investment and annual turnover is used. Please note that both the above criteria has to be met, as the word "and" is used. As you can see in the table, for both manufacturing and service enterprises, investment and turnover has to be less than 1 crore and 5 crore respectively to be called as micro enterprise. Similarly, investment and turnover should be less than 10 crores and 50 crore respectively to be called as small enterprise. And if the above limit exceeds, however, the investment and turnover is less than 20 crores and 100 crores, the enterprise will be called as medium enterprise. The announcement does not specify the date of implementation of the new definitions, which also requires the necessary changes in the MSME Act and RBI notification on the matter. Now, whereas the increase in investment is a welcome change, the logic and the basis for restricting the turnover is not explained. The pertinent question is, when the investment is substantially increased, the capacity for production is also increased in proportion to the investment. In which case, if the turnover goes beyond the cutoff point, the micro enterprise is graduated as small enterprise, which is again a very favorable situation to the enterprise. But if the small enterprise is promoted to medium enterprise status, is it good for them? Is a question to be asked. Even though any expansion is desirable for any enterprise, the small enterprise will lose its privilege coming out of the statutory commitment of banks to MSE sector. Other measures announced for MSMEs are: e-market linkage for MSMEs will be promoted to act as a replacement for trade fairs and exhibitions. MSME receivables from government and central public sector enterprises will be released in 45 days. General financial rules of the government will be amended to disallow global tender inquiries in procurement of goods and services of value of less than Rs 200 crores. Provided that for tenders below such limit, in exceptional cases where the department feels that there are special reasons for global tender inquiries, it may record its detailed justification and seek prior approval for relaxation to the above rule from the competent authority. This move will allow MSMEs a chance to supply for big projects and be a part of government purchases, so a self-reliant India can actually make in India. Other measures announced are: Employees Provident Fund support for business and organized workers. The scheme introduced as part of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. As part of the said package, the central government proposed to pay 24% of the monthly wages into APF account of wage earners below Rs 15,000 per month. They should be employed in an establishment having up to 100 employees, with less than 90% or more of such employees earning monthly wages less than 15,000 rupees. This was provided earlier for the months of March, April and May 2020. This support has been extended by another 3 months, that is June, July and August 2020. This relaxation has been provided in order to provide more take-home salary for employees and to give relief to the employers. Other measure is statutory provident fund contribution to be reduced for employers and employees for 3 months. For other establishments not covering in the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, as explained above, statutory provident fund contribution of both employer and employee will be reduced to 10% each from existing 12% each for all establishments covered by EPFO for the next 3 months. Other measures are tax relief to business. The pending income tax refunds to charitable trusts and non-corporate business and professions, including proprietorship, partnership, LLP, and cooperatives, shall be issued immediately. One last measure that I want to discuss with you all is tax-related measure. Various measures announced here are reduction in rates of tax deduction at source and tax collected at source. The TDS rates for all non-salaried payment to residents and TCS rate will be reduced by 25% of the specified rates for the remaining period of financial year 2021. The due date of all income tax returns for assessment year 2021 will be extended to 30th November 2020. Similarly, tax audit due date will be extended to 31st October 2020. The date of making payment without additional amount under the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme will be extended to 31st December 2020. Now the government has made the vision of the nation and the mission is articulated. The outcome is majorly dependent upon the execution of the plans and programs which will be carried out in line of above measures. This package may not be a satisfactory package for all. However, the government has made a sincere attempt to stimulate the economy as a whole. There may be many hardships during the implementation of this package. However, with support and timely correction, this hardship can be eliminated. With this, we have completed this presentation. I hope you have understood this and will apply in the real world. Thanks a lot for your participation.